So yeah. So I'm here with Bjarne and Carol. And your last name is Breske, right? And then Dean Breske. Dean and I have been Facebook friends for a while, but just meeting for the first time today. So good, yeah, that's fascinating. So all this stuff, but yeah, tell me what you know about my dad. I guess my dad used to come out and get buffalo from you, and tell me what you know about George and.
Yeah. Well, yeah, your dad came out here a couple times with Carol and her husband from International
Oh,
Falls.
okay, yeah.
And got buffalo and took it back and yeah, that was a couple times. And your dad would come up here and visit once in a while with his dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And for funerals he'd come up.
Yeah.
And we never got down there to see him, although seemed like we never had time. But your dad, George, he married Bernice, and Bernice is
George, my grandfather,
and he married my my dad's cousin, Bernice Melville.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they used to have auctions there.
He was an auctioneer.
He was an auctioneer.
He was an auctioneer.
Yeah, and it was really cute how they had it set up, bleachers in the barn and and that and he did, and then he got a job over at Breske school. He was a janitor there for many years.
Wow.
And he was really good. He got along so good with the kids and everything. He didn't let anything bother him.
Right.
Except the superintendent got. He was kind of a radical, but but he, I think he even worked for my dad, in the early years. He did, but he was a real friendly guy. Mm-hmm. He liked his women.
Yeah.
That's no lie.
That was George you're talking about.
That was George.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But he was always good to us and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a nice man.
Right. So when I was a teenager, 14 maybe, somewhere around there, with my dad, we stopped at George's place, wherever it was. It seemed like it was like a farm area type thing, but here in Valley City. And he was married to Bernice at the time. Yeah. So all I remember is she made a big, breakfast for us and stuff, and we didn't even spend the night. We just stopped and visited for a few hours and left. But
he lived just right over here, about a mile.
Wow, yeah.
To the south is where they lived.
And I have a lot of his stuff that I got from my dad, including his flag with the Purple Heart from the Army, along with some letters that he wrote after he had been shot in World War II, and so he was writing letters back home, and so I have a copy of one in particular that him talking about his. That's how news was spread, I guess.
For sure.
He spent several months in the hospital. And I guess he, should have died, from his injuries, but thankfully, if he did, I wouldn't be here. But yeah, that's quite the story. So I have his flag and everything, and I have his auctioneer manuals. But really, as an adult, I never got to know him. Unfortunately, life happens. And it's a reminder to stay close to family. Keep in touch with family, because otherwise somebody dies and you wish you had a chance to keep in touch now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he just died, 97 or something?
Yeah, really, it doesn't seem that long ago. He's pretty good age when he died, I think.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I think he was 78.
78.
Yeah.
So he lived a colorful life.
Yeah.
But oh gosh. Yeah. Well, I know one time our family, we went up to Little Falls. We were on our way to International Falls and stopped at Little Falls there. And Helen, you know, she was so nice. She had us in, and she made us chicken chow mein. And I got the recipe, you know.
Wow.
And the kids just loved it. I mean, we did too. But I mean, she whipped that up like nothing, you know. And
chicken chow mein.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Oh, she really a good cook. And she had a guy living with her, an older man, white hair, but they had a humongous garden.
Was his name Mel?
It could have been.
Yeah. Yep. So because her second husband was Selden Gowdy.
Yeah.
And after he died, then Mel lived there.
Yeah.
For many years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we knew Mel.
Okay.
When
nice.
When I was over there. So but they never got married.
No, I guess not.
But they lived together for a long time.
Yeah. So he was kind of mean, I think, you know, from what we hear to the kids and her. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
So I don't have a lot of memories of him. I can't remember what year he died, but he die from he had slipped on some ice while driving. Yeah. And his car flipped over upside down into a ditch.
I think that was it was kind of tragic. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, and the ditch was full of water, and he drowned or something. Yeah. Anyway, it was all icy and cold, and I'd rather go in my sleep in bed like Carl, you were saying, did.
Right.
Yeah. Who wants to? But yeah.
Uncle Carl had such a deep voice.
All right. Yeah.
Do you use cream? Or
no, thank you. Just black.
Well, this is black.
Okay, that's the way I like it.
Okay, I don't know.
I'm an old sailor in the Navy, so that's what I, you know.
He makes better coffee than I do, so.
Okay, well. No, see, I like any kind of coffee. I can get the cheap gas station coffee or a fancy coffee at a coffee place. It doesn't matter to me. It's coffee. You know, as long as it's caffeinated.
What, do you want something to drink? Are you sure? Are you sure?
We just had lunch, so.
Want some dessert? Some cake?
No, I'm fine.
Want some cake?
I'm good. I'm actually full. I couldn't eat any. Thank you though. Thank you for asking.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, we were always with your dad. We were always, he asked us one time, there was this limousin that they lost their father. He was killed down by, Litchfield, Marion? Marion. And they never could find his body. And he asked us if he could come up and we go, because they figured he was in a certain area around a slough. Yeah. And, but he never, we said, yeah, we'd do that. But he never came in with his dogs and that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that'd have been fun not fun, but interesting.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know, to do that.
Nobody ever found it either.
No, he's never been found.
The person that disappeared.
They figure it was a neighbor that
shot him
from his porch. Yeah, but they can't find a body. I think the guy is in jail. They got enough to get it on. Well, his mother lied for him, so she ended up in jail too.
Oh boy!
But couldn't get it out of him. Where he was over fencing or pasture, or was it draining? Draining. Okay, that's what it was over. Yeah. So let him have it.
What a thing to die for.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, are you married?
I am. So yeah, married. Have 5 children. So I got started early. I got married at age 19, and we had three children that are now adults. And then I got divorced and remarried about 17 years ago. So Dean and I have that in common. Sort of the length of our marriage, the age of our wives, the age of of our youngest sons.
Oh my goodness!
You know, we have a lot in common there.
Yeah.
So my wife is named Crystal, and And then my children, let's see if I can remember the ages, Leila, and so she would be 33 now. And she lives close to me in Portland. And she actually is married with 2 kids, so those are my grandchildren there. And then I have a son, Justin, who, so 91, so he would have just turned 30. And he just completed 8 years in the Army. In the he was an UAV operator, unmanned aerial vehicle, like the drones. He did all that. Well, he got out of the Army and now has transferred over to the Air Force Reserves into their aeronautics program. So he wants to be a pilot. So he actually wants to fly the plane. So he's doing training for that. And so he's married and they have a son. So that's my other grandson, Isaac. And then I have a daughter, Rachel, who also lives in Portland. And so she's 26. I have to do the math in my head. So she's 26 and she's not married or doesn't have any children. But yeah, so they live relatively close to me. And Justin right now is there. He was in training in different parts of the country. So he's up in Delaware right now. So who knows whenever he's finished with his schooling and all that, then we're probably wherever he gets a job is where he'll live. So
sure.
But so Crystal and I, we have a soon-to-be 14-year-old son, Jordan. He'll be 14 on the 13th of this month. And then we have a daughter, Aiden, who just turned 12 on July 1st.
Oh.
So,
yeah. Yep.
So that's it. No more for me. 5's enough.
Wow.
So.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
We had 3. Dean, the picture there.
Yeah.
And that
Here, I can get it.
Okay. Right behind you there? Okay.
We have one girl, she's the oldest, and then Ellen, and then Dean.
Okay, so Dean's a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby. That's Gay.
Okay. Yeah.
She'll be 57 now in August.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen is 55.
Yeah.
And he's 49.
Yeah. Wow.
Gay works for the IRS.
Your hair's gotten gray since this picture was taken. Mine has too, so I can't. I'm not pointing fingers.
I don't know how old that picture is.
I'm not sure.
A few years old.
Yeah.
It's It's been a while since I had a beard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Kids
he
must
works
have
for
been
Western
young.
Area Power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gay has a boy and a girl, Ashley, and she works in North Dakota Medical Foundation in Fargo, and then she has a boy, Cameron, and he plays baseball for La Cruz, the Aggies in New Mexico.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And he's a junior in college.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a senior this year. And then Alan's, he has a girl, Hannah, and she works at you ever hear of Sanford Wellness Hospitals? I mean, he's a real rich bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, she works there does therapy at that wellness center. Mm-hmm. And his son is here. He was out mowing grass. And he is a junior at Omaha. Omaha, Nebraska, Clayton University, to be a dentist.
Okay.
So he's got 2 more years left.
Yeah.
And then we got Deanie.
Yeah.
And he's an all-around guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's worked
A
lot of places until he had his accident.
Yeah.
And that.
Right.
He's did a lot of jobs.
Well, when he got that job out at the jail out in Bismarck,
I didn't like it.
we told him, quit.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't worth getting spit on, and cracked on and threatened, you know, and it's the prisoners got all the rights.
You were working like a guard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of the time I work maximum security.
Mm-hmm.
So we did.
And then I worked goon crew, which is for cell moves.
Mm-hmm.
I did that.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
I got trained for that.
Huh.
And, I didn't really care for it.
Right.
It's not the way it is in the books when you study.
Yeah. I think it's one of those jobs that you don't just do it for the paycheck. You either like it and stay in it, or you don't.
Right.
And it's a way of life. It is. It's not just a job.
Right. Yeah.
Because they talk to different people when they visit, and those people talk to people, and then you see them on the outside, and
they threaten your family.
Yeah.
You know. And that when I get out or whatever, I'll, you know, threaten. And, you know, you never know nowadays, really. They got more connections in there than.
Well, it's a network.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, totally. My mom worked as a nurse. She was a registered nurse, and she actually worked for several years in the jail, in Ada County Jail near Boise, Idaho. And then my stepfather was a sheriff's deputy. They actually met working there. So, worked in the jail. But
it's just not really worth, you know. And all you're doing is upholding the rules of the penitentiary.
Right.
You know. And then they try to blackmail you if you know. Oh, let me get away with this, you know. And it's like, no, because I know what you did last time to that other guy. You held it over him and you blackmailed him. Yeah. No.
And they can write them up. The prisoners can write them up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that something? Yeah.
And they can't even take a club in there to straighten their ass around.
They're afraid they'll take
Well, the thing is, I had 12 years of jiu-jitsu, and I could only use what I was learned at the pen. I couldn't use anything that I knew on my own. I had to use only moves that were taught to me at the pen.
Really? Huh, interesting.
Yeah. Because if you did anything to hurt them, then charges can be brought on you.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't tell you who had AIDS or anything either.
No.
You know.
Right.
Or any kind of diseases.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, when the shit goes down and it's your life or theirs, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to protect yourself.
Well, I'll take them out. I mean, because if it's your life or theirs, you want to make sure you're walking out of that thing at the end of the day.
There you go. Yeah.
Because they stick together.
Right.
I mean, they don't care.
Right.
It did. I mean, in the end, it did work out all right for me because I didn't have a powder trip when I was there.
Right.
So the inmates did. I had them tell me we had one inmate there that killed children, and that's the lowest thing on the totem pole. You do not kill children, and they were going to kill them. And I did have one inmate come in there and say, if you're with them, step away. We don't want to hurt you. You're one of the decent guards. We don't want to hurt you. We're going to kill him, but we don't want to hurt you. Just step away. So they did. The general population I did get along with. But, I didn't work much with the general population. They always stuck me with maximum security. And I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It's 23-hour lockdown. It is.
Mm-hmm.
They have 1 hour to go in a cell that is like 20 long by 10 wide. And then they either get a ball or, well, it depends upon their personality. They get a ball or even just a rag, and they can toss that depending on their personality. And if they're really nasty, all they can do is just run around in it for an hour, and you gotta watch them. And it's just, after a while, you just say, I'm not getting paid enough to do this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Huh.
So that's why I've had some different jobs. I didn't like necessarily the law aspect of stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And you gotta go, and it ain't like years ago when you had one job and you had it forever.
Right.
Now you sometimes you get laid off. It's the pay or whatever, and you gotta go where you can improve yourself.
Right.
And that. So.
One place made $32 million. They netted. I worked at. They laid off 48 of us because they didn't meet their goal.
Wow.
They netted $32 million.
Yeah.
They get greedy.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And it was the
greedy.
day before Christmas. Christmas Eve. The day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And the week before that, they say, oh yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. No one's going to get laid off. The day before Christmas Eve, they netted $32 million.
Yeah. When it's about money, that's right. Yeah. Money comes first, isn't it?
That's right. That's right.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
So, tell me more about, if there is more to tell about my dad coming up and Buffalo. Do you go out and shoot him, or how does that work? Like what?
He didn't shoot it, I don't think.
Like what? I'm curious how that works.
Your dad, he could have shot it, and they brought all their knives and they skun it out here.
Yeah.
I remember.
Quartered it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did
Yeah, they did.
Took it in quarters.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It was it was late in the fall. It was cold. Cool.
November.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had the head.
They took everything. I remember.
He took it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he mounted it so he could hang it in his house.
Oh, I
It's
don't
not.
know.
It's not in his house.
You never
Okay,
seen it?
No, I've never seen a buffalo head. No, I mean,
Yeah.
not in the house.
We never made it down.
Got a lot of other stuff. But you never made a dime. You said.
No, we never made it down there to see Dennis.
Oh, I've never made it down there. Okay.
Yeah, he always said they had a lot of pheasant down there too, where they live.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
What's that town that it was in?
Candu?
Condi.
Condu, there you go.
Candy.
Condi. Yeah, Condi. Yeah, Condi. Yeah.
But he ended up in the nursing home?
Well, he was in a nursing home. It was like a rehab center.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But he was in rehab, and hopefully he was going to recover from the stroke. But then when he tried to get out of bed and broke his leg, that kind of put an end to that, and he just never recovered. He
had diabetes too, didn't he?
Really bad diabetes.
Yeah.
He had like 5 different heart attacks. He had big open heart surgery back in the early 90s. I was there for that. And since then it had like 5 heart attacks. So he had a bunch of stents in his heart. And he was he had a lot of health issues. He was starting to get Parkinson's disease. But he was just stubborn, so he kept going. He just kept going and going and going. So which is a good thing. He was
right.
The one thing that he wasn't was lazy. He was always working. Always he didn't like just sitting around. He always was wanting to be up and doing something. And the bloodhound work just became his total passion. Oops.
Yeah.
And people didn't even understand how much of it was a passion it was for him, but and he used his own money on it for the most part. Didn't charge people for looking for their loved ones and stuff like that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, we heard that before.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
He came up here for whose wedding was that?
It was your mother's funeral.
Oh, Mom's funeral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the last time we saw him.
Yep, that was the last time.
Yeah. Came up for
Probably
that.
10 years ago. So yeah, it's been quite a while. So, yeah, that big pickup he drove, and he didn't bring his dogs up that time.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. But he was in the FBI or like a secret
OSI.
agent.
Yeah.
Boy.
Was he in the Air Force?
Yeah. OSI in the Air Force, but he worked for the FBI. Like they hired him for specific jobs.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of high profile stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff that was top secret that you can't even talk about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, that had to be scary.
Yeah. For him, he kind of thrived on it, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I liked that. Living on the edge.
Yeah. He said he would.
Who he was.
Dress up just like a bum, or.
Oh yeah.
And they'd never suspect him as an agent,
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Boy, you'd really have to watch your back, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yep, you would.
How is his wife doing then?
She's doing fine. She's about a year away from retirement. So he's a sheriff's deputy there. So I just spent a few days with her. But she's doing good. Obviously she's lonely living alone.
Oh, sure.
Without my dad there now.
Yeah.
But she's thankfully staying busy with her job, and she's got other family that her sons and a grandson, and so a granddaughter that works at the sheriff's office as a dispatcher as well. So
it's nice they're close to home there.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this now.
Sure.
Thank you for letting me.
Sure.